Peace, blessings, salutations. Yurima Karama here with segment Real Life, Real Talk. These are the days of our lives. So the other day I did a video, and I believe the title was He Loves Black Women But Hates Black Men. And got some responses back, quite a few, kind of started a firestorm of discussion. And I expressed in there that not only was I talking about black women knowing that some of the white men that they date are racist, but I also said that there are black men that know this as well. And although I think that this is dialogue that we need to have, because this comes from a place, I like to say it deals straight with Willie Lynch and some of the things that we were taught as a people, but got some feedback from a few sisters, and they were just like, Yurima, black men, you always want to get on black women, but you never make yourselves accountable for your actions, for how you don't represent us, how you put other races of women on a pedestal, and you always deny us that. You don't protect us. You don't, and this is black women talking to me. They're saying, hey, you guys don't protect us. You put other women on a pedestal, but then you still expect us to have your back. And when we do, what happens? You abandon us. Or you get in these relationships and you talk bad about us to these white women. And, just the nature of that is very disheartening. And then you wonder why, we're out, why we don't have any faith in any relationships with black men, even though we still love you. And I was just like, and so they wanted me to point out black men. And at the end of the day, they were correct. And so I came across this article, and I just wanted to touch on this, because I think a lot of this person in this article is being very honest, and he talks about basically confessions of a self-hating black man. And one of the things that I didn't hit on in my article, basically dealing with the black women who date racist white men, as well as the black men who date racist white women. The one thing I didn't hit on is the fact that, there has to be a self-hate within those groups of people. You have to have some form of self-hate if you're dating someone who is a racist. And I just can't see there's no way of you not knowing. So this is what this dude says. And I'll just read a small snippet of it and then go into, its full context. He says, the mindset of my friends and I at the time could be summed up as something along the lines of, if she ain't white, she's at least got to be light. Black women were barely on our radar, and we treated them as such. At the time, I would sit back, laugh, and even join in as my friends would make fun of black girls in our classes for things like their hair, their skin tone, or the way they talked. For me, my friends, white girls came first, followed by Latina, Asians, and mixed girls, in no particular order. While me and some of my friends did date and like some black girls, we still greatly respected guys who were able to get with women of different races. This light keeps going out. To me, most black women represented everything that I didn't want in a woman. I felt that most were too loud, too argumentative, had too much attitude, and were too much to handle. I believed these things despite being raised by and around black women who represented absolutely none of these things. I simply saw my mother and other female family members as exceptions to my generalization, so they didn't count. In contrast to black women, white women and women of other races represented everything that black women weren't. They were beautiful, agreeable, adventurous, easy to handle, and most importantly, possessed the genetic code that I wanted for my future children. I'll stop it right there. because quite frankly, it tends to get sickening, to say the least. So I wanted to hit on that point because when these sisters are talking about the fact that they're not being protected, the fact that other women are being put on higher pedestals, and it's intentional. The fact that, for the most part, this dude is admitting, saying, hey, him and his friends were in agreement on this. This wasn't something that he just came up with on his own. Him and his friends actually, they discuss these type of things. They were in agreement on these type of things. And I think that this really needs to be addressed because it's a very sick mentality. Me personally, I would tell you, I love black women. I love them, and find, all different humans possess beauty, but black women by far to me are the most beautiful on planet Earth. But that's me. And so, but I think when we have a mentality that says those, how can you look at someone, the opposite sex of your same race, and want to distance yourself so far from them, from him or her? You want to distance yourself so far from them that you're looking at other races and putting them up on a pedestal. We need to dissect where that mentality comes from. And my analysis, and it holds true, and I know many will disagree because they don't want to read it. They don't want to look at the history. But it goes directly back to Willie Lynch. The Willie Lynch syndrome is embedded in many mindsets in the black community. It is. And until we deal directly with that issue, and we can say what we want, but you still got light skin, and the division between light skin and black skin, and white people still play on that till this day. They still play on it, and many blacks fall prey. They fall right into the trap. So you still have that. You still have obviously the purposeful interracial relationships where it's not even a thing of, okay, I love this person. It's just a thing of, okay, she's not black, so I'm going to date over here simply because she's not black. The envy of other males or other men, like he talked about in the article, the envy of other men who find solace or they see other black men who are dating outside their race and they're envious of that. Curious is one thing, but envious? You want to do that too? You don't want to date a black woman or black women who don't want to date a black man. But I think the focus here, because I did focus on the ladies the other day, so the focus here has to be on the men and the sick mentality that some black men just have for black women. It's a very sick mentality. And we have to be honest about that. You come from a black woman. But you find no beauty in other black women outside of your mother. It's interesting. From a psychological standpoint, we have never had therapy for the atrocities that have been inflicted upon us, and whether we want to admit it or not, generational, this thing is generational. It goes down generations. It didn't just stop in 1865. So these things become very, very interesting. And we don't look at the psychology behind our sickness. So I think that, I wanted to do this because the sisters have valid, and it's proven time and time again, they have valid issue. And I think this problem is never going to be resolved until we take an actual look at how we got to this place. And it starts with Willie Lynch. It really does. It starts with slave owners coming together with a diabolical plan to say, hey, this is how we're going to keep this group of people divided, and this is how long this shit is going to work. And until we look at that, We're going to continue being in this conundrum, this psychological psychological state of deviance until we actually take some cold, hard looks at how we got here. Define it, and then find solutions to rid ourselves, going through some therapy or whatever. You have to realize we've never had therapy. We were basically, our ancestry, our families were basically, kicked out, and we've been on the move trying to get it ever since. So we've never had the therapy that most other groups get for the atrocities inflicted upon them. This is important. So when queens talk about, well, we don't have any protection from the black man, you know, we're raising children by ourselves, and you know, you don't have our back even though we have yours. When queens are talking about we want black leaders, but you Negroes are selling out, selling the farm and the mule, that's real. That's real. Look in our churches, look at our politicians, you know. So, and, you know, I know that I will get a backlash from this. I already know there will be certain people that will come with the snide, very disrespectful comments. I will tell you this, do what you do. I simply refer you to my spoken word video on my YouTube channel, as well as Dr. Watkins' YouTube channel, rightfully titled, I Give No Fucks. So again, Yurima Karama, peace, blessings, salutations. Connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And, you know, make comments, leave messages. If you'd like to hear some subject matter that you want talked about, that you want discussed, research, let me know, inbox me. You can go to my webpage, which is www.yurimakarama.com, and message me. I have booking info there. You can, if you have to, you want to book me for a particular event, we can discuss that. I have a booking agent. Also, I have, you can find out my performance dates and locations. So with that said, coming to you again, real life, real talk. These are the days of our lives. Yurima Karama. Peace. I'm out.